Good morning, Dave Long here from Dave Long Custom Lures. Yeah, I'm just back in the factory here, trying to get a few videos going before I go away, because when I'm away I can't do any videos for making these lures. But yeah, so I'm just going to cram in a few before we get away and say you're up to date. What I'm going to do today is a native, well, not a native, but a natural in our waterways. It's the dirty old common carp. Yeah, the carp. Yeah, it's a pest in the waterways, and it seems to like destroying our habitat, turning our rivers and so forth into muddy rivers. And anyway, they're a pest, and we're trying to eradicate them as best we can. So what I'm going to do today, I haven't got one of these in my tackle box. Well, I used to have one, but I don't now. So I think I sold it to someone. But yeah, this is the C15s, another extraordinarily popular blank throughout the freshwater fishing world, and it's a great lure. Again, it's like the C25. C25 is bigger, and this one here is scaled down to a 15. So it's a square bill, floating, got a rattle, a very simple lure, and very effective, deadly actually, in the waterways. And I don't know if many people in Australia use them, I'm not too sure. But anyway, you guys would know that. So anyway, I'm going to paint this my common carp, and this pattern I've used for many years. Anyway, it's not one of my favourite patterns, but it fills in a gap for fodder fish in the estuaries and dams and so forth. Anyway, we'll get into it. Now, first of all, before I go into that, I want to introduce one of my new lures. It's I'll just move that aside. It's finally arrived. It took about 3 weeks. It's 100mm. I'll just check that. I'll just check that length. Yeah, it's 100mm. And that is in inches, is 4 inches. It's a prawn. Got a rattle, little rattle in it, which is okay by me. And it looks pretty good. It's very detailed and feels like a prawn. It does. I know there's a lot of these out in the market at the moment, but this is, I got this from China, if you're looking for them. And well, I don't know, I'm impressed. It's got holographics in the middle of it, so it shimmers and carries on, so I'll use that to my benefit. But later on, not today, but later on, I'm going to do some prawns, my take on prawns, and we'll see what we come up with. I'm really excited about that, as that's going to be, I might get some more if they're effective. It looks like a shallow diver, so you could use that to bob up and down and carry on. It might even have a radical type of behaviour on the retrieve too, but Yeah, I'm sort of pretty happy with it. It's really nice and nice shape, a nice rounded shape, and it's a good size. So I'm pretty excited about it. So I'll come up. I've got some prawn patterns that we'll use, and we can put it on something more realistic later on. Okay, so I'll just put that aside and we'll do this common carp on the C15. I've got new eyes for it too. These new eyes from the same manufacturer. They're a little bit small for this size lure. This takes a 5, well these are 4, but that's okay. That'll suit. And we're going to be using a large scale, a large pattern scale for the scales, because carp have got those big scales, goldfish type of scales. So far I've put on the white undercoat and the pearl white under the belly, just to save a bit of time, but I'll go through the colours. We're going to go over the back and sides with a black, all over the back, over the head, over there, all over there with a black. And we're going to leave the belly as it is, so that's what we're going to do next. But I've also mixed a colour. I'll show you the colour. There it is there. And I'll show you how I mixed that. That was good old raw sienna. Okay, raw sienna. Now I've got a measurement for you if you want to use this. Raw sienna by 1. Okay. Then we use gold, wicked gold, by 1. Okay. And then we use white, just normal white, by 3. Alright, to get that colour. Okay, so that's our main body colour over the scales. Then we're going to, I've got a sepia, good old sepia. This colour comes up again, and I'll go over the eyes and back with the sepia. Just to give it that dirty look, because these fish, they live at the bottom and they stir up mud and all that type of stuff. And then what I'm going to do over the head and eyes only is the moss green. Moss green, just to give it that weedy look. Okay, so it's going to be sensational, I reckon. So here we go, we'll get into it. We'll do the black first. I'm using the 0.2 mil airbrush. So I've mixed these colours just to save a little bit of time. There we go, that should be enough. And we'll put the black in. Okay, now we're going to go over the back and the sides with the black. I'll just see if this is mixed all right. Yeah, it's a little bit full on. We'll just back that up a bit. I don't want it too heavy. That's it. And I'm not putting it on real heavy, I'm just going over it. Down to the sides there. This gives me more control. I hope you can see that. Because I have loosened that black down a bit. I might do the eyes a bit. I always do the eyes for, how would you say, a better background for the eyes we put in later on. That's a bit better. We'll just go over the back. That's better. Now, if you haven't worked it out, this black is important because it will define the edging of the scales when I put the mask on. That's it. Bit too low there. That's all right. That's it. That'll do. We'll just clean that up. Hope you're having a good day. It's a nice sunny day here today, and I say that periodically only because when you think of fishing, you think of weather, and that's just me. I'll just clean that out a bit. Get the old brush. Good old black paint. Get hands on. Yeah, so I hope you're enjoying these videos. And getting something out of it. It's all for you guys, basically. I can make these any day, but if you're able to make them to save money and target those special fish as a chase, and it's all beneficial. Alright, I'll just make sure that's all out, that black. It's a persistent colour. There we go. Okay, so we'll just dry that off. Now I've left the nose, as you can see the nose is not black. I just left that. That'll be alright. We've got to put the moss green on that later on. So now I've got this mask. What I'll do, I hope I don't scratch this paintwork, but anyway, this is just an onion bag. That's all it is. It's, yeah, cheap. So we'll just, yeah, that's fairly good. It's fairly dry. We'll just put that over the top. And what I'll do, I'll just be gentle. This is a fairly soft type of material, which is good. And I'll just try and get it down as tight as I can. There we are. Get a few clamps. Got that ready before anyway. That's fine. Just make sure that's tight down there. I might start at the tail. I'm fairly happy with the size of those scales stretched out. So we'll just do that. I don't want to scratch it. That's the last thing I want to do there. That's fairly tight. Fairly tight, not too tight. yeah, I'm looking forward to going away. I'm going to try some saltwater fishing, probably just off the bank, off the rocks and beach, but that's okay. We might pick up something. I might take up a few lures that I've just done and do some videoing on it, sort of see how we go. I'm not real good at that type of stuff, but anyway, you only get better when you practice, isn't it? I might put another one just on the top there, just to tighten up that bib. Yeah. Oh, just lost tension on that one. Oh, that's just come off there. That's not too bad. It's a little bit loose there, not too happy with that. I need it a little bit tighter. That's a bit better. Okay. Alright, that took a little bit longer than I thought. But anyway, if you can see that, I've just put that stencil over the top there just to mask it off. Still a little bit loose on that side. That's alright, I don't think we're going to go over the gills that much. And I might even put gold on the gills later on. But anyway, we'll have a look. Anyway, we'll use this colour I mixed. Yeah, I don't know what you call that. It's actually, first of all, we've got to put white on as a base. So I forgot to tell you that. So we'll put the white on. We've got white, just normal white. We'll put that on. I might use the other one actually. This one, this is yeah. Mix that up in another little container. Running out of containers, huh? I might just use that one. So the white will just give it a little bit of a base coat so the colour will stand out a little bit more on the pattern, as you'll see. Don't dilute it too much, I don't want it too loose. That's a bit loose. There it is. Just put a little bit more. Yeah, so we're going to try for some tropical type of fish up north. Never know, we could be lucky. I'm just going to use lures. That's what I normally do. I haven't used bait as such for, I can't remember, it's probably around 7 years. I just use lures. I've caught some fantastic fish on lures. It's a great hobby. Very satisfying, very sad. Okay, so we're just going to go over that mask. Let's see if that comes up. That's better. And this won't look fantastic as such until the colours come out. And normally carp have got all these big scales on them. Not that I've caught a lot of carp, but the ones I've seen, they're like big goldfish. You know, I think they are. Originally, they were Hoya or whatever they call them. out of fish ponds, and someone let them loose, and now we regret it. I don't know if you get that overseas, but it annoys me here where we just take it for granted about the environment, and you know, even people throwing rubbish out of cars and you know, that annoys me. There we go. So I just I don't know, it's just selfishness really for future generations. Terrible thing. And it's, you know, it's no good for the environment and what lives in it. If I had my way, we'd get rid of all the carp, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Anyway, that's my gripe for the week. And, you know, that's better. Alright, so we'll just dry that off. Now we're going to put this mix in. This is yellowy look, and that's what they look like when they're all cleaned up, the old carp. They've got this golden yellow look. So you might say, well, why are you making these where they're a pest? Well, it's like this. If you teach the fish to eat these things, they'll eat the others, the live ones. So anyway, that's my theory. Okay, so we're going to go over this pattern with this colour. Let's make sure it's working. Okay. That should be enough. Yeah, it looks a bit weird at the moment. Doesn't look like a fish at all. Not really, anyway. That's alright. We'll get there. I'll just dry that off actually. Excuse me. Okay. We'll take that off. So basically what we're doing here is just defining the scale pattern. After all, that's the big highlight for this type of baits. There we go. There we go. Alright, so you've got those large looking scales on it, which is a trademark for the carp. Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's good. Okay, so we'll put that back in the old helping hands. And we don't need that now. We've got the scales on, and we're going to just touch it up a bit. Now we've got to clean this out again. I'll just blast this out. Sure as hell. You might just clean the tip there and get this off. That's better. And just push it. That's it. That's all that is. It's just a little jar of water and a sponge. And it just helps me clean the tip of the needle. We'll just blast that out a little bit more. There we go. That's it. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to put a little bit of sepia over that. Sepia is going to bring it more natural. Okay, where's the sepia? There we go. Good old sepia. I love this colour. I saw this colour on a video years ago when I was learning how to do this, and he said, whatever you do, get this because it's so diverse and universal on a lot of applications. And he was right, you know. I use this a lot. There we go. I'll just put it straight in. And there we go. So yeah, we're going to use this over the eyes and back. Okay. And as you can see, that's given it a more natural, dirty look. That's it. You still see the scales, and on the eyes, on the front there, yep, on the nose, eyes, that's it. Yeah, dirty old carp, look at it. Yeah. Yeah, alright, so that's enough, we'll just dry that off. So I've sort of bled it down a little bit, not too much, just on the shoulders, not right down. I just left that a little bit yellowy. There we go. And of course the bottom is that silver white, pearl white. Okay, so we'll just wash that out. Blast that out. There we go. And now we're going to just dry that off. Just check something here. Okay, that's good. All right, so now we're going to put a little bit of moss green on it. Now the moss green, will actually just bring out that a bit more natural look to it. I think I've got enough there, maybe not. Just one little drop. It's rather thick, this one, the moss green. Go. I think there's enough in there. We'll just test that a little bit. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is just go over the nose and the just on the eyes a little bit. And that should just darken it up a bit, and maybe just a run down the back. I don't have to get in the back, but I think it sort of deserves it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to nose. And the eyes. Gives it that dirty look. There we go. Just give it that dirty look there. There we are. That's it. Beautiful. Yeah, it darkens up the eyes a little bit and just makes it sort of look a little bit dirty. But the scales are still there, they're very dominant, which is good. I like that. Even on the gills they're a bit, yeah, I might just leave that. If I touch it too much, it might ruin it. But anyway, that's enough. I think that's enough. It's come up rather natural looking. Alright, so that's enough of that. We'll just clean that out. Yeah, so this green's a bit hard to clean out too. Yeah, I can just see a cloud coming over. It looks like a bit of a shower. Yeah, my saying it's a sunny day. Now it's going to rain. A bit like Melbourne, isn't it? Okay. Not that I know of. I don't live there now. I never have. But yeah, it's starting to rain. Look at that, eh? Very good. Okay, that's not too bad. Alright, just dry that off. Now what we might do is we might even just put a bit of UVLS on it, just to seal those colours and the pattern. Yeah, so I've probably told you about UVLS. It's ultraviolet light stabiliser. So it protects the paintwork and just gives it a clear coat that actually protects the paintwork physically too. So it's not a top coat as such. You still got to put a top coat on of epoxy or whatever you use, but this is just a stabiliser basically, and that's very important that you should know. But I'll tell you what, it does seal these colours, brings them out a little bit too. So I'll show you that, and put the eyes on, and we're finished for a little bit. And then what we'll do, I'll over the next couple of days, I've got another one here to do too. I'll actually put an epoxy on it, and then I'll show you out in the sunlight what they look like. There we go. Alright, so I'll just put this on. What I find too is putting this on without the eyes and covered beak, it actually it looks better, and also it doesn't contaminate the eye. The eye is made by a soft silicone, as far as I know it is, but it does cloud a little bit. You can see those colours pop already, look. It's got that nice dirty look about it, that's good. Common carp, eh? Some people eat them, you know. I spoke to a Polish bloke, and he loves them. It was a special fish that they have for Christmas, and I just nodded and said, oh, okay. But I don't fancy him as a eating fish as such. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, that's on. I'll give that a bit of a cold air dry, and then you put the eyes on. There we go. Now you don't use heat on this to dry it. It's got a lot of scale work on the blank, as you can see, so that can be effective if you use it properly. But I do like these little blanks. They're really good to have throw around and how would you say, finesse around the waterways. This carp, he'll be good around the weed, on weedy bank areas and muddy areas. Yeah, he's actually picked up bass for me this pattern. I do mention bass a lot, but I reckon they're the great test fish for lures as such. They're very aggressive. They're hard hitting. They really hit them hard, so test out your hooks. I've bent hooks on them, and bigger bass, and so I've upgraded. Well, I've been using these special hooks for a long time now, and I'm very happy with them. They're actual forged steel, nickel coated, so they're super strong, sharp, and if you don't sharpen them with a file, then they won't rust. And I find they're just superb for a lot of hard-hitting species like the bass and the barra. So I'm very happy with those. And they're not expensive either. They're from China. No, actually they're from Brazil, apparently. But they come through the Chinese supplier. Yeah, I don't mind using blanks from China. If it's going to save money, I'll do it. And if they're effective, I'll do it. If they look good, I'll do it. It's not a problem. There we are, look at that. Oh, yeah, this is going to be great with epoxy on it. That pattern's going to bounce out and hit you in the face. Beautiful. I should do another one of these later on. I will actually. I'll do another one later on in a C25 again. I don't think I've got one of those either, but yeah, if you're interested in any lures, just email me, inquire, and you'd be surprised if you mention, if you're subscribed and you mention you're subscribed, I'll give you a good price, that's for sure. Okay, so I think that's pretty well right. We'll put some eyes on that there. There we go. Now my little eyes. These are brand new. I'll just put that down so you can see. These are brand new. They come through. And yeah, they look nice and they're pearly. They've got a little pupa on the bottom and the top half is clear. So yeah, I'll give them a go. I'll get them out of the packet. There we are. There we go. These are a size 4. I'm pretty sure I ordered 6, but size 6, but anyway, I've got the 4s. I might look at getting the 6s doing the trick. I've only got them for this prawn blank. Gee, I love that. Look at that. Just, ooh. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, so we'll just put a little bit. Let's get a knife. Yeah. And get one of these up. The knife's broken. Oh, there we are. We've got ready. Got a little bit of glue, not much, just a little bit. Okay. Put one of these on there. Which way will I put this on? I'll put it on that way. There. So it's looking down, minding its own business before it gets hit hard by a bass. Yeah, like that. That's good. And over here, I'll do the other side. Just a little dab of glue, not much. Otherwise you get a lot of mess. And put this one on, and we might put this one on looking up. I reckon these carp are cross-eyed anyway. There we go. Alright, so we'll take the we'll take that off. There we are, we finished. It's well, not finished it, we've got to put epoxy on it. And I'll sign it, I'll always sign it. But there you go, it's come up pretty good. Common carp. You know, if you catch these, you've got to kill them. You can't throw them back and all that. So anyway, they're a pest. So there you go. That's the common carp in a C15, and yeah, I'll finish that off, and we'll show you what it looks like in the daylight. Yeah, it does come up nice and natural looking. Okay, all right, thanks guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's not a hard pattern, and yeah, give it a go. I mean, it's probably a good starter pattern for using the airbrushes and so forth, and getting used to colours and colour mixing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time. Okay, bye.